life? Where is the place where that is where you're meant to be? When you start, when you begin to write the thing, when you begin to say the thing, when you press go live, when you bring a new program to life, when you start to teach something that maybe you're scared that you're not even equipped or ready to teach, or who on earth do you think you are, and yet God put it in you, and so there's a grace thing there where it's not even on you. It's not meant to be on you either. What is that thing? That's what I'm wondering. So I would post this little photo just to kind of, you know, remind myself of who I am, but also because I really just knew that it's a powerful thing we all need to hear. And it was my way of saying to those who are watching my stories, like, whether it's fitness, whether it's your messaging, whether it's something in your home, whatever it is, right? Stop it. Stop making it dependent on circumstance. Sometimes circumstance is like valid to override what we should have been doing anyway, like the you know, living our day today. Sometimes something crazy happens and you actually got to put down what, you know, would have come through you today. 99% of the time plus that it's not the case, is it? So stop depending on circumstance. Stop depending on, do I feel like it? Am I ready? Do you know, in the like 20 or so minutes before, as I was preparing to go live, which took me about 20 minutes because, well, firstly, like backtrack an hour or two before that, I had to put some form of clothes on because otherwise I would still be sitting here in my pajamas since I haven't left the house yet and working in my pajamas. So I already started to get myself into that alignment, like, no, I'm going to eat my breakfast, write my things, and then I'm going to go live. So let me put my gym clothes on so that I'm prepared. Yes, we didn't go any further than gym clothes, but at least there's clothes, right? Let me, like, you know, brush my hair so it's not a crazy mop on top of my head. And so I already started to move myself in the direction of that's what's going to happen. But then when I finished eating, I was like, I don't want to go live. I don't feel like I have things to say. I can't be bothered. It feels like too much hassle. It's getting late in the day. I still haven't gone to the gym. So what I did is I pre-wrote the email that I'll send out after this to give people the link to watch the live stream. I chose my topic and I just wrote a simple little email on that topic. Make it easy, make it part of who you are, repeat. I also wrote the sales call to action, the invite part of the email, which is for my current course, Wake Up and Press Play, which starts today. And I just put the introduction post in and opened the Facebook group for that about an hour ago. So this is my new live 4-week course, Wake Up and Press Play. Oh, we are going all in on all the things you should be press and play on. This is 4 weeks live with me. It is at crazy OG cap pricing. You can check it out at katrinaruthministries.com/wake up press play. And I suggest you do. I will probably put a link in the description afterwards. In fact, I will, because I already pre-wrote that. What am I saying? Probably. So I wrote all that out. I did the sales email. I did the sharing the content email. I hadn't even done the content yet. And I still didn't want to go live though, because this used to be something, if you know me, or if you know a bit of my story, where it was so easy and I would go live 4 or 5 times a week. And it was a huge part of how my business grew, I guess. This is going back like literally 9-10 years ago. It was a pretty significant part of how my business became a multi-million-dollar per year business, but it wasn't a gateway. I don't want to imply it was like because I did that, therefore I had a, you know, what ended up being multi-8-figure business. The reason that happened is because I said yes to it and I showed up each day for what was inside of me and what I knew was a yes, which over time started to include frequent live streams. So then I would go live 4 or 5 days a week on Facebook at the time, not Insta. And I would honestly talk so much just, I'm going to say like nonsense, but not really, because there was always a message of power and truth that came through. But I would ramble and I would just talk. And I thought it was really funny and I would tell a lot of funny stories and I would be here and then there and then there. And I would just be sharing about my invites. And that became a huge part of my content game that a lot of other people sort of saw as something that I was really good at, that they weren't good at, or that they couldn't speak as well or be as confident or something like that. But for me, it was just a thing that I made so easy because I made it part of who I was. I made it part of my everyday thing that at some point throughout the day, like every part of my working day, at some point throughout the day, I just have a conversation with the people who I'm here to have a conversation with. And I let it just be like that. Amen? Judy says, I started following you on Facebook 11 years ago. I remember. You guys, do you know how many clients I had who literally became immediate clients, and even to the point of like super high paying clients, just because they came across one of my Facebook lives? I had people roll into my DMs and pay like 60K pay in full the same day who had never heard of me. This was frequent. This was not like a one-off story I'm telling. This kind of thing happened all the time, who had never heard of me. I remember one client in particular, Nikki, and she was like, I came across you on a Facebook Live and I was watching you and I was thinking, who does this chick think she is? Like, she said to me, I was annoying her so much. She was thinking, who on earth does this girl think she is? But for some reason, an hour later, she was still watching. She literally contacted me. She signed up as a private client. She paid me again and again and again at a high ticket price. And she had never heard of me. And I was annoying her, which is what I was doing with most people somehow. But then it was like magnetic because it was the stuff you needed to hear. And you know, it was so easy. Whatever you make part of who you are, it is so easy to maintain a standard of excellence. Do you hear me on this? Do you understand what I'm saying?